Hello everyone, no respawns here. I hope you're having a grand weekend. So in this video, we're going to be using the new, I think it's a bandstand, or the new band area that was on the Atom Store a while back, and we're going to be making a funky shack out of it. Where are we? I've been in this area millions of times, but for the one person who didn't notice, we're just south of the crosshair and just near Clancy Manor. So it's a good little area, this. Really flat. Really cool. There's a very cheerful looking noose in the corner. It intersects with this quest here, whose name I completely forget because I've only ever done it once. Right, let's make a thing, shall we? Let's make a thing. So in typical Bethesda manner, I tried to do this earlier, did it first time, made a nice little shack. I was like, cool. I disappear off because I always play on a private server, and as those of you know, when you have a private server, if you disappear for like 10-15 minutes, it resets it. So that way you can have the weather in exactly the right time, which is usually around 10 o'clock. I need to perform first. Like 10 a.m. in the morning, 11 a.m. in the morning game time. I went to do that, and I wasn't able to replicate what I did. It just wouldn't work in the same way, and I was very angry. So, fingers crossed, it works. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to change the build up a wee bit. Every time. I'm so mad. I'll point out what it is when we do it. If not, I'll just have to make the build look a little bit different and just breathe a little bit. I think my flatmates think I'm having like a domestic argument with someone on the internet or something. Like I'm on chat or something, because you just hear me just randomly start swearing a lot. I'm like, for fuck's sake! I was so mad though. So it's quite a cool little structure, a performance stage. That's what it's called. But the thing is it's not as so basically, because I play a lot of this game, if you hadn't noticed, and I spend a lot of time building, if you hadn't noticed, and so I'm kind of familiar with how things intersect and kind of work with each other. And a lot of the prefabs recently, you've been able to play stuff really close to them. There's been no issue. With this one, because life is cruel and unfair, is not that way, and is actually quite touchy half the time, as I will probably demonstrate in this video. Which is a shame, because it does limit the options a little bit. Obviously, I'm not actually using it for a performance stage, because that's boring. You don't like that. See, you can't snap the door on there, the wall on rather. You have to kind of move it quite far away. I'm going to move it and then... take that. Let's do it about... It needs to be as close as possible. Yes, it's quite bizarre, and I think this is what was causing the issue. I think when I just did this shack the first time in my practice session, I just happened to get it so flawlessly exactly where it needed to be that I was able to do the other side without any issues, whereas now apparently not. Because fuck me, that's why. Because up yours. Not yours, mine. Alright, okay, cool. Because I have to have this on there because it needs a roof, but... So it's like bizarre, I can't get it. It can't be sheer. And I'm well aware that has something to do with the wallpaper, but normally it's not massive issues. Good lord, though, it's not even. What a knob. Oh, look at that. It's also bizarrely hard to get like exactly the right angle, as you probably can see. I think what happens, if those of you build a lot will notice that sometimes when you move things like very slightly, it will just move straight back to where you had it before. Because, again, fuck you. That'll do, pig, that'll do. I quite weirdly like this whole door frame thing for my shack. You'll figure out why, because I like to basically barricade it up. So this is the part that didn't work. And if it doesn't work, I'll just do it a different way. It's fine. It's fine. It's not fine. I got really mad and again started shouting in my room. I'm moving soon, which is going to be really good, because that way I won't have to live with people and then think that I'm, I don't know, getting in a fight in my room or something, or just having a massive domestic. Okay. So that one's on. I don't think it's going to let me do the back one, is it? Oh. Ah, okay. Fuck it, we'll accept that. Basically, before, I was able to really comfortably put those in there, and it was absolutely fine. For whatever reason, now it's like, no, David, go fuck yourself. But it's fine, because at least it looks like it's connected, and I can just sort of hide the fact that that one isn't actually technically working. I'm not going to even attempt to align it again. It's not going to work. I've tried it. Intersects with existing objects. Fuck you. I was on Twitter earlier, and I was like, I just want to find the dev who made that feature and just have a chat with them. You know, it's just a quiet, friendly chat. Nothing Nothing untoward's gonna happen. I just want to talk to them. Yeah, just have a word. It's fine. Just have a quiet talk with you and break your legs. Thank you for your hard work, but also you've mildly annoyed me. I hate it so much. There we go. It's fine. It's fine. I'm okay. I'm okay. I was getting proper shouty earlier. Like, ridiculously shouty. It doesn't help that I've been playing lots of Dark Souls recently. If those of you who may follow me on Twitter may have noticed. Super excited for Elden Ring, by the way. And so I was getting like... I've been just shouty a lot recently while playing games. Just like, God damn it, fuck's sake, every time I, get my ass kicked by the Nameless King. Noticeably, that was probably the one I got the loudest, I think. Yeah, been getting quite shouty. As I am wont to do. I do like making a good shack, though. I'm kind of slightly annoyed when I did my test version of this, I didn't at least take a picture of it, because it looks exactly the same. It'll look exactly the same to you guys, but to me, I was like, oh, there are slightly better features involved. Yeah, I just think it's just because the way they've made this one, they've made it slightly less generous with placing stuff nearby. I don't know if this is something conscious. I get the impression it's more like when someone's actually doing the frame of the model. Some people, I don't know, maybe are a little bit more better at it than other people, if I'm being brutally honest. Because if you ever use the creation kit, things kind of sort of have a frame around them, and oh, I hate that sound so much. Oh, I hate that sound so much. Yeah, things have a frame around them, and I think that's sort of the bit that's causing the issue. It's actually weird because most of their like recent prefabs haven't had this issue. They seem to have like almost done a lot better at it. Apparently, this one was maybe a little bit of a rush job. Get it together, Bethesda, is what I'm saying. Fuck's sake. Okie dokie. I do like a nice little scrappy shack, though. Is that like... oh my goodness, what's wrong with my brain? That's not even remotely right, David. How fucking dare you? We haven't had anything good on the c.a.m.p store for a while. I say that, we had these really recently, but I'm a very fickle person. And I need something new and good fairly regularly, or I get kind of mopey. Let's have some reverse jump fences on the back as well. We'll use these ones. Come on, you little sweet. Dun dun dun. Right. Get in there, you. I do like making shacks, though. Oh, they're just so satisfying. I'm going to have it so that those boards are sinking in perfect. So it looks like they're part of it. I don't think that one will actually work. Oh, wait, no. Fuck it. Done. Lovely jubblies. It's already coming together. I'm still annoyed it doesn't have that glow on that side, but I will survive. Vaguely, I think. Right, now I know you little shit worked in there fine, so I'm going to have to get it in a bit closer. I begrudgingly accepted the pillars. I will not accept this gate going in. I refuse. I refuse. Come on, I got in there perfectly last time, you don't fuck. Oh, it's there two of them, that's why. Where's the other one? It was the upside way, wasn't it? Where is it? God, I'm so blind. Also, I've got everything. There we go, this is the one. That was it. Okay, good. It was this one. So this is the encampment set, which is really, really good, but there are two versions of everything, and you can sort of, as you just saw what I did there, you can kind of sort of miss bits. Right, so what I'm going to do, this is the basic structure. I like to just see what I can do. Use stuff in its kind of non-standard way. I'm going to decorate this, add a few more details, maybe put a little bit of a wall to an extent around the outside, and then you lovely people can see it all in its glory. One mo. And we are finished. So I had a theory while I was making this. Turned out quite well, by the way. I quite like the decoration. And again, what I like about this structure, just straight off the bat, being the positive, is the fact that it does add that. It just makes the whole thing look more ramshackle. Like, it makes for quite a nice kind of base structure, then you can build something around. Like, normally this kind of, this shack would look quite dull because of the fact that it would be just, 4 walls and then this front bit here. But adding those extra elements just looks quite nice. Now, while I was making this, I have a theory. I think this is an older structure that they've just had in the back burner for a while and just not put on the Atom Store. The reason being, if we pop inside... So I decorated it quite well, but you notice I've got these rugs around. And I couldn't place stuff too close to the edge. And I think, because that was for those who've been using the Atom Store for a while, know that the older prefabs were sort of like that. They were a little bit hard to actually decorate in some ways. And they seem to be making a lot more effort with the new ones to kind of make sure everything works. Like you see the way the stuff kind of sinks inside it over there. It was a bit weird. And I realised, I remember seeing this in a data mine ages ago, like 2019 at least, and I think it may have just been something they decided to just drop now. Anyway, it does look quite cool. I'm fairly pleased with how it turned out. It was a little bit finicky, as I've just kind of let's not pretend that post isn't there. And it is a nice little structure. If you do have it, this is something you could potentially use it for. You could also actually use it as a performance stage, I guess, if you're feeling boring. But I kind of quite reasonably pleased with how it turned out. I just kind of wish maybe they had possibly been a little bit more, had a bit more attention when they actually designed the mesh of the actual structure, so it's a bit easier to build stuff in. But that's just me being nitpicky. Anywho, as always, follow me on Twitter at norespawns. So I'm gonna have some Elden Ring videos up. Well, Elden Ring video. Probably not videos, plural, next week, because it drops on the Friday. I'm really excited. I just want to make kind of some chill videos where I just fight the bosses, and then maybe if other videos around it take my fancy, I will. I've also got potentially some indie-ish small studio game videos I want to do, and more Fallout, obviously, depending on what drops on the next Atom Store update. I know that the next season starts not next week, the week afterwards. So I imagine we'll get some new stuff, which should be quite cool. I've actually got to focus on, finishing this season off, because I am, what am I? 86. I will possibly have to buy some more levels. It's all good. I just can't not complete the season. Sort of a obsession. Anywho, I love you all, and you enjoy the rest of your weekend, if it's not too, depending on your time zone. Otherwise, have a good sleep, and have a good start of the week next week. You take care.